Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's topic is LeBron clutch. Now, Scottie Pippen recently came out and said that LeBron is not clutch like Michael or Kobe, and he doesn't have the clutch gene. Now, before I get into this too much, let me just preface my comments by saying that right now is a very convenient time to pick on LeBron. Now, he just came back from injury, so he's still working through some rust, and the Lakers are not doing as well, so it's just a convenient time to beat a dead horse, so to speak. Also, there is a media narrative that he meddles too much in the front office. He tries to get players traded. He creates stress within an organization. His agency is colluding. So there's all those external factors that come into play when assessing LeBron's game and his criticism. So now I'm going to try to separate fact from fiction. Now I'm going to say that when we say he's not clutch, it's more of a feeling or an impression than it is a statistical fact. Because when you look at his numbers shooting under pressure, his numbers actually compare very favorably to Michael Jordan. He's hit a lot of buzzer beaters, more than Jordan actually. So when you look at it just from a purely statistical perspective, he is clutch. Now, what most people, casual fans, analysts, whatever the case may be, what they're saying about him in that he's not clutch is the impression that he's not clutch, that he shies away from the moment, that he doesn't look focused, that he doesn't look determined, and he looks like he doesn't really want the pressure. Now, I will qualify this by saying that after years of watching LeBron, the one thing you can say about him is that he tends to settle for a step back jump shot in the clutch. And it's because I think he does not want to get fouled, and I think that's absolutely true. He shoots about 75% on his career from the line, so he doesn't shoot as well as Kobe or Michael from the line. They shoot about 85%, so they're much more comfortable. And when I look at his game, LeBron's game that is, when I see him at the line, I do sense personally that there's a bit of anxiety. So that part is actually true, just from observing his body language and his tendency to go with the step back three going to his left. You know what I'm talking about. Comment below if you've seen him do that before. Now, as well, the definition of clutch to me is also a little ridiculous because I don't think clutch just refers to the last shot. Clutch in this case, being the last second shot with 5 seconds left, is a function of circumstance. He just happens to be in that particular situation because of the game flow, not necessarily an indicative of his actual skill. So to me, clutch can refer to a big game too. If we look back at 2012, Game 6 at Boston, down 3-2, LeBron probably put on what I consider still to be one of his top 3 games of all time when he scored 45 points. If he loses that game and they don't win the first title for Miami, I don't know exactly how his career goes, but that to me was a very clutch moment for him. He was unstoppable that game, and it didn't require a last second shot because he was so good from start to finish. So that to me is clutch as well. Also, when they talk about him passing a little too much during crunch time, how can you criticize that when that's the style of play that's made his team so good? That's why his teams are in the game in the first place, because of his all-around game, his willingness to pass, rebound, defend, score. So he's not just going to completely go away from that in that particular moment. Now, would I like to see him be a little more aggressive looking for a shot, even if it's a difficult shot? Yeah, sure. But that's just not necessarily who he is. And do I wish he would drive the basket a little more? Yeah, sure, of course. He's one of the best finishers at the rim. So also, clutch can also mean an entire playoff run. Let's just look at last year with the Cavs, with that terrible team he had. He carried that team all the way to the finals, hit a couple buzzer beaters, and that was probably the best work of his career. So he was clutch for an entire playoff run, in my opinion. So, when you look at LeBron and you decide what kind of player he is or whether he's clutch or not, try to be objective and look at the facts and try to ignore the narrative that surrounds him. You can say whatever you want about him personally, whether you dislike the way he meddles in the front office, but when you look at his game, try to be objective. Anyway, if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys.